everyone, this is James,
Marco,
Nabil,
and Mikey.
And this is the Movie Pals Podcast, episode 220. Today we're going to be going over the results of the Oscars, as well as a review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. Let's get into it.
it's the topic of the week.
So, for our topic of the week here, we're just going to go over our Oscar, just talk about the Oscars, really. It's pretty casual for the most part. This year, Mikey won out of our Oscar ballots, or Oscar polling,
Mikey.
how you want to call it.
Congrats, Mikey.
Yep, congrats, Mikey. Put it on our Instagram. Put it on our Instagram last night, so if you see that, give it a little like there. It'd be nice.
I know exactly how you won, too. I got the secret right here.
Yeah, me, Mikey, Marco. Marco hosted at his place for this year, which was really nice. So Janelle came, my brother John came. It was really fun.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone lived.
Yeah, most of us. Fun. It was pretty close overall, even though the point wise was spread out near the end. We all actually only missed out on 4. So
Yeah.
It's pretty
Very
crazy
close.
that everybody got the same exact number, right? And I mean, the points weren't that spread, right? I think everybody was within 20 points of each other, so it wasn't that bad.
I think there was a lot of
maybe even like only 10 or 15 points actually.
Yeah, it was
a lot of buzz on like the heavy favorites. Like more, at least I don't know. I felt it more so this year than previous years. That's just how
to
I
a
felt.
point. I think there was still a lot where I thought it was either going to go 50-50 because I mean,
Yeah.
as soon as I missed out on casting, I was like, oh, this is done. I put too much into that. I really thought Sinners was going to get that, but that's the first year that it had that, and I guess I just did not get the concept down. I was like, I am off.
I think we all missed that one, though, right?
But I thought it was a sure bet. I was like, this one has a diverse cast. It must be it, right? And I was like, when it was like early on too, seeing when one battle after another was winning like everything, I was like, oh, this is how this is going to go.
Yeah.
The only upset would have been if Timothée Chalamet had won. That's the
I would
only
have been
chance I had.
surprised.
That's the only chance I had. near
All the bad
end.
press that he gave himself near the end, I was like, oh man, they're just
Yeah,
throwing
but
him out.
voting's locked in like a month ago or something. So,
Yeah.
which was, I mean, honestly, early on in the season, I would have said he was probably the one to win it all.
Yeah.
Honestly. So, was there anything that was like standout moments for you guys?
Amy Madigan winning Best Actress, mostly because I really thought Tiana Taylor...
Best supporting actress?
I'm sorry, Best Supporting Actress. Mostly because I thought Tiana Taylor was going to take it, just because there was a lot of momentum behind her. It wasn't bad. Like, who would have thought that a horror film, specifically the villain of the horror film and a woman, that bet would have gotten the Oscar, but I think she did great. I just would have never thought that it was going to be an Oscar-nominated role, and then to win the Academy Award too. So that was a surprise for me.
It's really, I mean, she's really good in that movie. I would say
She is,
I don't
yeah.
think there's a lot. Only other one off the top of my head I can think of, just because saw it recently, was Kathy Bates in Misery. So
Yeah.
who also won, but that's more of a thriller, I guess, in a way, but in a horror in a way too. But
Mhm.
Also, the tie. We saw a tie.
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
right?
the
That's
tie
crazy,
was-
right? Yeah, it's like,
Hey, hi! What? Why do they call them TIE fighters?
No idea.
yeah,
I've never seen that before, like live.
I didn't even think it could
truthfully,
be
I didn't even
possible.
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
They said it
exactly.
happened 3 times before, but I never heard of anything like that. So I legit thought it was like a gag. I was like, this has got to be a gag. No way.
no, they don't really mess around like that. It's happened 7 times before, actually. Last one was in 2012, so, and I think that was also for like a short film. So
I guess because is everything ranked choice, like set up that way, or is it just a Best Picture?
Best Picture is voted on. If there's a tie with that, they take the lowest voted one and it goes toward it until somebody
Yeah, they
has
just
more
keep
votes.
going, right? Yeah, they just kind of pile it on.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that applies to all the voting, but I could see maybe that the other, the lesser spots or awards will end up just getting majority win, and if it's a tie, then it's a tie.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane that there's a tie, but
Especially with how many, like, isn't there like over 500 or something Academy voters? So
I'm not actually sure about that, honestly. So anything? I don't think anything really shocking happened, honestly.
No, just that one
Nobody
mess
got
where
slapped.
where the microphone was going down.
Oh yeah,
So that was about it.
Well, there was quite a few people that got cut off, especially near the end. They was just going too
Yeah.
long, and I could tell like some people, if they had a little more time, would have probably gave them a little more time. But especially when Golden won, I was like, damn, we're really not gonna let him have a little like 10 more seconds. Yeah, but
He was right there too, and it just let it go down. I mean, I'm glad he kept going, but
yeah, it's a lot of emotions too for people, so it's hard for people to kind of reel that in. Because early on, some people seem like they got a lot of time compared to the last few. I'm not trying to be mean,
but Barbra Streisand took a little too long.
Oh no, dude.
Like, I don't think she had anything planned, and she just kept telling story after story. I'm like,
she was damn near
one
mumbling.
is good enough.
Yeah, I couldn't even understand what she was saying. Really,
it was terrible.
My wife was watching the scene, and she told me right as soon as she saw Barbra Streisand that she's going to find a way to make it about herself, is what she said. And at the end, she started singing the song. I was like, of course she did. I know it's a movie from the movie, and it's their whole chick, but still, she said somehow she still made it about herself. It's like, that's Barbra Streisand.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I felt like that's when it started to really like feel a little rushed. Is after that, because they were like, "Oh man, we didn't anticipate this."
It was a long in memoriam, and I get that they were
too long.
Yeah, I get they wanted to focus on some key highlights for them. I guess it's more on people they wanted to that people felt had a connection with to some extent, and then some of the shocking, just like Rob Reiner and such. But at the same time, I feel like it was a lot of more time than usual.
I know there's a few people that people are like, oh, they miss these people. But I didn't realize that they only show people that are members of the Academy, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. And I wasn't sure if those two were. Yeah.
No, definitely not.
Be a member of the Academy.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, okay. I guess
that makes sense. But still, like, you couldn't just toss their picture in and put a date on it. Like,
nah.
Then everybody would be like,
you didn't pay your dues, all right? So you're not going to be on there.
Yeah.
They pay for that.
Did you like it overall, though, this year? The Oscars? Did you like Conan O'Brien?
Conan's great. I think he keeps it pretty, like, he keeps the jokes, like, on point, and he doesn't drag on with some of the segments. Like, I know we had some of the video segments, but I don't know, I feel like he did a good job from the hosting aspect. There weren't too many bits. There was a couple that were really good. Like I like the one with Sterling K. Brown with the Casablanca reference. That was good.
that was in regards to like the Netflix things where the Netflix where Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were like, we have to like repeat the story to people.
Yeah,
it's like a requirement.
That was fun. But yeah, he didn't linger too much on anything about himself or any kind of too political jokes. Just we're here, we're doing the thing. Let's move on because it's gonna be a long night. And I enjoyed that. I felt like he did his best to keep everything on pace.
He was well balanced, and he did have. I think that was one of the best intros I've seen. It was pretty funny,
really good.
Just going through all the different movies. I was like, oh man! And then for the finale of him running in with all the kids' weapon style running in, I thought that was pretty cool.
Anything that went too long for me was just that in memoriam. Like, unfortunately, like. It's weird. Some years it's too short, right? And then sometimes it's like too long. Like, dude, find the right like moment on this one.
It depends on the presenter, I guess.
Well,
when they stop like twice, I'm like, I don't think you need to do this. Just show the thing. Like, no offense, but
they had the bridesmaid thing too. That went way too long.
That one was terrible.
That was way too long.
Where they were reading the notes and stuff. Like, you could have done like one or two notes and been fine. You didn't need all 5 of them to read something.
The first part was good, but that second part with the notes, I was like, guys, what are you doing? All 5 of you? Like, no.
Just like the movie. Just don't want to stop.
Well, even the, what's his name? The Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans segment. Like, I was like, I don't understand. Are we joking here? What's happening?
I feel like the second half, like he walked off on accident. It was supposed to be there because he started saying something different. So I was like, okay, I guess what the hell's going on?
I think there was also some audio issues too over there again. They tend to have that, but it seemed really more. Oh, was there something more?
There's probably an AI thing that automatically beeps out certain words now, I think. So as soon as people say something, even though it might not be a bad word, I think it happened quite a few times last night. Especially like even during like Kumail Nanjiani's name, like it beeped out his second half of his name just because it.
I was wondering why it beeped him out.
Yeah, like if it sounds like you're about to say a certain word, they're probably like getting ready.
Yeah, because they don't want another Golden Globes where Tourette's guy just starts yelling out stuff.
I mean, it's supposed to be a 20-second delay or something like that, right? You don't think there's somebody that should be there just to be ready to push the beat button?
In hindsight, they don't want to pay anybody in the bill. That's why. Yeah. In hindsight, it almost made it seem like there was someone in the audience like yelling something because like we were just like, dude, is someone yelling something? Like, what's going on? Like,
yeah, the whole night we were kind of making a joke about it.
Yeah, it's like, whoops, someone's yelling. Someone got drunk.
Yeah, that's something they can improve upon. So I don't know. It was. I thought it was pretty good overall. It was fun. Or it might have just been the company too. Who knows? So, but
yeah.
Mikey won. He will have films for us to watch. We'll be on our next episode. So I don't know if Mikey's already decided or not. Obviously, don't tell us right now.
I haven't fully finalized the list though, but I'll have them ready to go today or tomorrow.
Sounds good. With that being said, let's move on now to our main review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze.
Go ninja, go. I'm Leonardo.
I'm Michelangelo. Donatello.
I'm Raphael.
Yeah, all the good ones, Andy, no.
There is only one thing next. Revenge. Get down!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze, sitting at a whopping 36% on Rotten Tomatoes. The premise for this movie goes: the Turtles discover their origins while they endeavor to save New York City from the evil Shredder and his Foot Clan. Directed by Michael Pressman, who did Dr. Detroit in 1983, Frankie and Johnny Are Married in 2003. Written by Todd W. Langen, who did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first live action in 1990. And based on the characters created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Movie had a budget of $25 million, and its box office ended at $78.7 million. Not too bad. Released March 22nd, 1991, starring Paige Turco as April O'Neil, David Warner as Professor Jordan Perry, Ernie Reyes Jr. as James's cousin, Kino, Kevin Clash as Splinter, Raymond Serra as Chief Stearns, Toshihiro Obata and Michael McConaughey as Tatsu, Michelin Sisti and Robbie Rist as Michelangelo, Leif Tilden and Adam Carl as Donatello, Mark Casso and Brian Toshi as Leonardo, Ken Scott and Laurie Faso as Raphael, Francois Chau and David McCharron as the Shredder. All right, so we're going to start off with our history of the movie, and I think I'll start today. Let's start with our Oscars winner today, Mikey. What were your thoughts, or what's your history with this movie? Excuse me.
Just history? Okay. Yeah. So I've seen this movie a 1.5 million times when I was a kid. So you probably heard my story about seeing Jurassic Park 1 million times in the movie theater. Well, when Jurassic Park went away, they brought in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, 2, and 3. And you can see it for $1.50, and you got to see the trilogy. So every weekend I would go and see these movies. So I've seen it 1 million times. That was a long time ago, though. So it was really nice kind of coming back and checking it out again. I had some fun watching this one.
Nice. Right on. James, what about you? What's your history with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2?
First off, there's no way Mikey watched it 1.5 million times, because I put that in a chat GPT. That'd be 251 years worth of film, which, unless he's learned how to time travel, there's entirely no way that's possible.
You never know.
Guys, fake news.
You never know.
So anything he tells me now, I will take with a grain of salt going forward. No, this is a movie this is the first one I actually ever watched live action wise. I think this is like the more kid friendly one, honestly, between the three. Well, the first two, at least when it first came out. Because obviously when this came out, I was only like 2, right? Still 2 years old. So there's no way. I saw this much later afterwards, obviously. So probably like a year or two after it came out, when I was like 4 or 5, probably. Because I don't know. I don't have memories before this time period. So unfortunately. But this is the one that I saw the most out of all three. I think it was our favorite because we had a lot of the toys from it too, I remember. Like Tokka Rahzar and all the movie. Because the movie toys were, just for everyone to know, were slightly different from the cartoon toys, just so you know. Mm-hmm. Especially the Ninja Turtle 3 toys that had rubber skin.
Oh, man. So. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely was a fan favorite of me, the family and me when I was growing up, basically. So this is the one that I probably resonate with the most, honestly, or have the most nostalgia for.
Right on. Nabil, what about you? What's your history with this movie?
Mine is pretty similar to James's, to be honest. I saw this at home, and we got into the cartoon show around that time, and then saw this film. This is the first one I'd seen. I don't think I saw the first one officially until like a few years later when it was, after we got into it and realized how
Same-
violent, like how
Same
adult
here,
it was.
Bill.
Yeah.
We didn't own the first. We owned this
No.
one when the white. Remember, like the white VHS.
I was,
the two.
I was just picturing
Yep.
that, and I was thinking, yeah, we had the white VHS box because we
And then
also
the-
got three after.
The three was it was yellow. The box
Yep,
was yellow.
Mm-hmm.
With like, looking at the lamp.
the weird faces.
Yeah.
And I had the toy. I remember specifically. I mean, I had like Ninja Turtle stuffed animal, like like stuffed pillows or whatever they were, and then we had like the whole set, the clothes. And I remember I had the particular. And I think I brought this up the last time we talked about it. I had this transforming Ninja Turtle that turned from like Raphael, and then you push a button on his back or something, and he wears like his samurai outfit from the third film.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't think
that
it's from
is
the
all
third
kind of
movie, by the
together.
way. I know he's wearing like a white gi or something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it. Yep,
I had the same toy. Yeah.
It's when they release those random ones. that
Are we
just
the
kinda
same
like-
person?
We might be around this time. So I mean, like it's a pretty similar. Like this was definitely marketed to us as children. I know you guys were kind of, Mikey and Marco, you guys were like in your 20s or 30s at the time, but James and I were quite young enjoying it. So this was
We were
this was
targeted
kind of our
audience at this point.
at-home experience. Yep.
Well, I worked at the movie theater where this was showing, so I saw it for free. No, I'm just kidding. But I did
Trying to do the math. I was like, you might be
Just-
right.
just like the first one, I saw this one in theaters. Super excited when they announced that this one was coming out and the trailer came out, and remember being super excited about it and the whole Tokka Rahzar thing during the trailer, because they showed them during the trailer, or at least little bits of it. I was super excited to see them fight like other mutants and stuff like the cartoon, and I had a whole bunch of toys as well. I had all the movie ones, and I think all the movie ones had that rubbery skin because that's how they differentiated them from the cartoon ones. The cartoon ones had the hard plastic, and the movie ones, they were a little bigger. They had the rubbery skin and looked pretty much like their movie counterpart to a point, but they were very popular. And this one definitely targeted the toy line to the kids because it was, like you guys said, a lot more kid friendly. But I saw it quite a few times in theaters, and then obviously owned the VHS 2 on the white box. I didn't have the dual pack. We had them individually. We had the first one and the second one, and the first one ended up getting lost somehow because we would take it to friends' houses and stuff. But it happens.
I got a lot of slippers to the ass. Huh?
Yeah. Let's get into some quick impressions for the movie. How did you guys watch the movie, and what did you think overall of the movie? And we'll start with you, Nabil.
So rewatching it, I really connected with remembering how much I enjoyed it as a kid, but seeing it as an adult, because it's been a few years since I've fully seen this film. My memories of the film do not match with what the actual film is like. I was like, man, this is way more cornier than I remember it being. Because when they watched the first one, I felt like, oh, this is a pretty poignant story, and I was enjoying it a bit more than I remembered even enjoying it as a kid. But seeing this one, I was like, man, there's a lot. They really went hard on the kid angle over here. And there's some fun scenes. I think the film for me is stronger on the second half when they start really going after Tokka and Rahzar, and they're kind of on the hunt. Trying to find a new place, and then kind of how it ends. I enjoyed that aspect a bit more, although the ending was a little anticlimactic. But as it was starting and they were kind of reintroducing the characters, it was almost kind of like a soft reintroducing of them all. It's like, hey, here's everybody again, if you kind of remember them. It threw me off. I forgot that they replaced April. Now that it's Paige, and before it was Judith Hogue, and so. I mean, she did what she could with the role, I guess. It's not, they don't give you much with April as they did in the last film. And
She had a lot
Casey
of problems
Jones.
with the violence in the first
The
one.
first
so
girl
that's-
did, yeah.
The first girl,
So
yeah.
that's
They
why I ended
actually
up replacing
chose
her.
Paige Turco because her interactions with the actors or the puppeteers was pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she was fine in it, but it's not the same. And so seeing them so close together like that too, I was like, oh, this is they're very much a different April than the first one. So, but it was all right. It just my memories of it to what actually watching it as an adult were quite different.
That tracks. Well, what about you, James? Well, what were your thoughts, and how did you watch it?
Hey, wait, how did you watch it, Nabil?
Oh yeah, how'd you watch it, Nabil?
Oh, I watched the streaming. I didn't go to a theater for this. Just
That
watched
sucks.
it online. Yeah.
Unfortunately, this movie does not stream in 4K yet.
It does not. I was surprised. I was looking all over.
Nope.
Yeah, it's just HD.
Same.
So only the theater experience or physical is 4K. That's the only way to see it. So kind of the same as Nabil, honestly. I've seen this one more frequently than him, probably. So I watched it a couple years back, and this is one of those movies that, like, when I was a kid, was way better, obviously, because I didn't really judge things as hard. But this time around, there's a lot of obvious like issues in the movie. I think there's like particularly like a lot of people are just there to be there. I think that has an issue with like almost too many characters. It's like, dude, why do we got so many characters? Like, can we focus on like the Shredder at least, or I don't know, like someone else? But then there's a lot of introduction to things. I still have a lot of nostalgia though for it, which is funny. It's weird though, like because they not only did they change April, they changed a lot of the voice actors and stunt doubles for these guys. So like even their voices are a little off now, and I'm like, that's weird. So like Corey Feldman's not back, and
yeah, does say Donatello's was very obvious because of Corey Feldman.
Yeah, which is funny because then like there's less violence technically. So like I think 2 or 3 of these turtles don't ever pull their weapons out the whole movie. Like Raphael definitely doesn't. Leo doesn't, so it's just like, all right.
Yeah, the sharp objects are hidden away.
I read somewhere there was like a clause where they in the script they were not allowed to use their weapons in the movie.
Which is crazy because it's like, dude, that's their whole point, you know? Yep. Like, but stuff like that, I think there are, like I said, there are some very memorable moments in this movie, which I still, like I said, watching it brings a warmth to my heart. So overall, it was still fun, but
I know you were doing the ninja dance when you were over. I was like, James, calm down, dude.
No, I do that frequently, so that's how I got my girlfriend Janelli.
Yeah,
but. I watched this on I have the Arrow 4K release that came out last year. So it actually looked really good because I refuse to go see Fathom movies.
I know that experience.
Dude, it was cut off on the bottom last time and dark as shit.
It was super dark.
Even I was like, yo, I'm never doing this again. I was like, because I knew the 4K was coming. I was like, I'm just going to rewatch this. But yeah, it looked really good on 4K. So,
nice.
Dolby Vision and everything.
Mikey, what was your impression and how did you watch it?
I'm kind of on the other side from James and Nabil here. For me, maybe because I haven't seen this movie in a really long time, I really enjoyed seeing it again. It just nostalgia hit me. This one reminds me of the cartoon as well, which I was a super big fan of the cartoon as a kid as well. So it's just, for me, it just nostalgia hit. I loved it. I watched this in the theater, so I did have that kind of like, I went to the theater a lot to watch this one as a kid, and that even helped out a little bit more. I was by myself in the theater, so I could laugh out loud, be rowdy if I wanted to. No one was there. So no, I really enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I do get what they're saying as well. It does have its flaws, but I'm okay with it. I like this kind of the slapstick comedy they had, pulling up the sausage links as nunchucks and stuff, using the yo-yo. Just that stuff was fun to me, and I just had a lot of fun watching this movie.
Kind of echo what you guys say, or a mix of what you guys say. I thought it was fun. It's obviously personally for me like a little bit of a downgrade from the first one. I think the first one had a better balance between the action and the comedy. It had comedic moments and levity, but it also was able to take itself a little bit more serious and felt more akin to the type of Ninja Turtles that I like. Even though I do like the cartoon as well too, and obviously, like you guys said, this one catered more towards the cartoonish type style. It was more noticeable this time around being an adult, not being a wee 20-year-old, that they didn't use their weapons. And I'm just like, it's so obvious, dude. Like, just pull out your sais, pull out your katanas. Like knowing
more about it now and knowing about the issues they had filming this and getting it out really fast. This came out like less than a year after the first one. So
right.
Yeah, but same as what Mikey was saying, though, the nostalgia got to me. I remembered, like, playing out the scenes when I was a kid. Yeah, I did do the freaking ninja dance because, I had Vanilla Ice's freaking tape. So, So let's get a little bit into the plot here and the characters. The plot, as you know, it's actually kind of similar to the first movie, almost. They end up starting up with a fight against guys. They end up saving somebody, and then they celebrate, kind of similar to the first one. And then we discover that, lo and behold, the Shredder is alive. Surprise, surprise, even though that was spoiled in the trailer. And now he's trying to rebuild the foot and has a plan to get even with the Turtles and meet them on their terms with creating his own mutants of his own, because they've discovered that TGRI, a science company, has this ooze that is the origin of the turtles and is what turned them into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and now he wants to use this as a weapon against his arch nemesis and get even with them. So let's start with you, James. What were your thoughts on the plot? What worked, what didn't work, and any thoughts on any characters in the movie?
I mean, it's pretty simple, right? Like, there's not a lot going on here, guys. It's basically like, let's fight these guys and then fight the Shredder. There's very little going on in this plot. I mean,
it's almost the same plot as the first movie, really.
Well, at least the first one was like they get whooped, they have to kind of retreat, figure out like to find their inner peace. There's a lot more.
They get whooped in this one.
Yeah, there's not a lot of character growth in this one.
Yeah, but the first one is just so much better. Like the rooftop scene with Raph, like, you know, and him just fighting them off in the daylight, and I really still like that scene a lot. Even though there is a similar scene to this with Kino
in the junkyard. Yep.
Yeah, Kino's funny though. It's like I've always liked Ernie Reyes Jr. I'm a big Surf Ninjas fan too. So
yeah, he's your cousin. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, that comment aside, I think he's a really good martial artist. He actually was the stunt double for Donatello in the first movie, so they specifically wrote this role for him. And his dad's like a legendary martial artist too, so comes from a big line of that. He doesn't have a lot to do this one. It's kind of funny. Like, he's always just kind of whining, honestly, in this film.
He's kind of a stand-in for Casey Jones, who's completely missing from this one.
Yeah, they said it was too violent, so they brought in Kino to kind of balance it out. But he doesn't do much. Like,
I mean, they could have literally used April instead of him. Like, she just could have got captured.
April couldn't have tried to join the Foot. That would have been weird. They would have been like,
no, but like she could have been like researching him and following one of them to the hideout and just got captured and done the same exact thing that Kino did. Really.
True, but it is funny when he's like, they got Raph. Where's Raph? I'm like, damn, chill out, brother. Like, even the professor, like, when I was a kid, I probably thought he was Baxter Stockman, but he doesn't even do much outside of get kidnapped briefly, and technically is the reason behind Tokka and Rahzar, I guess, because he's like, I'll create him.
Yeah. He definitely looks the part, so the assumption is that he's supposed to be some kind of pseudo version. Maybe he was also too violent of a character to really go full-fledged with it, but I mean, I guess he's also kind of like a good scientist. I don't understand the whole idea of 15 years ago we made this thing and it was waste and it was hurting the environment, so now we're destroying it, and it's taking them that long to destroy it now. Like, I
that was
feel
such
like I
a
missed
huge
something.
plot hole there. I was just like, that makes no sense whatsoever. But again, it is the early 90s, so
I feel hella dumb. When I was a kid, I did not understand why the flowers are hella big in the beginning.
Yeah.
As a kid, I was like, why are they so big? And why is everyone being creepy about it? It's because like the mutant, there's some of it broke out basically and leaked through, right? So,
into the earth, yeah.
Which, once again, it doesn't really matter, because then they go back to like he's emptying them all out. So I'm like, oh, I guess nothing got. It would have been cool if, like, because of that, something else happened naturally in that area, right? But,
yeah.
Because that's like, why even bring it up? Like, okay, or is it because so now other people know it's still around? Like, oh, but I'm like, he's on TV saying they're destroying it.
Well, and then I know we're kind of skipping a little bit forward, but Shredder found another vial in the second half. I was like, that was the last one, and then suddenly there's more?
I think he had the main one and just took a little bit himself.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Just a little baby.
like a contingency plan, basically. That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
Like, he used the rest of it for Tokka and Rahzar. Maybe that's why they were stupid, because he didn't use all of it. Who knows?
No, the professor talks about them being stupid. He says he genetically modified the ooze before he took them out. That's why he's stupid.
It's not like the same ooze, is it, right? Like, he made more of it? Because he was making like more of it, right?
Something like that, yeah.
He tells the Ninja Turtles that the ooze that fell on them was had like radiation on it. It was irradiated, and that's what caused the mutation for them to become who they are. And that's kind of why they have a slight identity crisis in the middle/end, where they're just like, oh, it was a freak accident. What the hell?
I don't feel like they ever care though. Past that.
No.
I don't even remember that part, dude.
They like Donatello like tells Splinter, like, I just can't accept the fact that we were just an accident or something like that. And then
he says that in the movie.
Yeah, dude. Right after the professor kind of talks about it, they have a little scene there. Yeah. It's like 2 seconds long though, so it's easy.
Yeah,
to
that's
miss.
what I mean. This is like a line.
They never go over that again.
Don't worry. He's like, okay.
That's as deep as it gets in this film, guys. So
that's the one thing that the first movie had that this one does not, is the emotional connection. There was a lot of more emotion in the first one than it was in this one here. So it just kind of clicked a little better. It felt a little better in the first one.
There's a lot more of those emotional moments, especially like with the campfire scene when they're like imagining where Splinter, kind of like when they're meditating, they're all crying there.
Yeah.
That's a good scene.
Well, speaking of Ooze and mutating, Mikey, what were your thoughts of Tokka and Rahzar?
I mean, they're my least favorite part of this movie. I mean, they look cool. Like I thought they looked cool for like the time. Obviously, they're a little different nowadays if they made the movie, but that's really the only thing. Them being kind of babies. I mean, I get it for a second, but I thought maybe they should age a little faster. So like later in the movie, they could be something more, but
like formidable. Actually,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
they're barely in the movie if you think about it.
Yeah, they really are.
I think there's a lot more of them in it, but yeah, I remember as a kid there was a lot more of them in it, but definitely not.
And Nabil saying that, like, I thought they were more intimidating as kids, and then watching it now, I was like, these guys are kind of weak, man.
They're hella goofy looking, dude. They got the goofy eyes,
especially
goofy face.
Like Tokka looks cooler than like Rahzar's the wolf, right?
Yeah.
And like he looks weird, his face. Mm. He has like his googly eyes almost. I was like,
I didn't even know he was a wolf until like they defeat them and he turns into
the babies.
I was like, is that what he was the whole time? I thought he was like a fox or something.
The
furs don't
like
even match.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like the fur, like he's like brown, and then he like becomes a baby or like the regular wolf again. He's like white and gray.
Like,
gray wolf.
Yeah.
How does that work out?
Yeah,
I will say I do. To counter your point, Mikey, I still found that very endearing, mostly because they were like comic relief. So like, it's definitely doesn't fit the tone of Shredder, because in the first film, every scene with Shredder was serious. Like he's a serious dude.
He's like scary in the first one.
Yeah.
Remember when he's all doing that thing with his bow staff or some shit in the first one?
Terrifying. Like so the only lightheartedness was when you were seeing the banter between the turtles, messing around. But in this film, it's all comic relief. Everybody's just saying silly things. You're doing something silly, and this scenario with like, especially like the introduction of Tokka and Rahzar, where he's like saying, "Call me master," and they look at him and say, "Mama." Like, I thought it was funny. I was like, okay, this is kind of, but it doesn't fit the tone, so it's all over the place as far as like the character, but. I kind of like the idiocy of the characters and being.
I think what adds to that, Nabil, is that in the first movie we get more scenes with the villains. Like I feel like Shredder and Tatsu had more scenes in there. Tatsu not really. He's just his lieutenant and whatever. But you kind of see some of the motivations from the Shredder. He's talking to the Foot Clan. He's in a way being like their surrogate father in a way, and here he's only just in a few scenes, just like Tokka and Rahzar. We focus more really on the turtles and really, and even with the amount of screen time that they get, they really have no like true character arc as compared to the first one. But I think like that minimalization of the villains, I think, is what makes them even weaker. Makes it seem even goofier, like you were saying. I don't know. That's just what I think, but.
Or getting stuck in the sewer and getting his feet tickled. Like, it was
I remember that scene. I remember that part a lot.
That's so
too.
funny.
Yeah,
it's weird because like you guys kind of said it and I didn't realize it, but I thought they were in it more too. But I remember every single scene with those two in it.
Yeah.
I just don't remember anything outside of that. Like I thought there was more stuff, but it's like I remember every single thing that they did. Maybe that's why I thought there was more of them.
Like, there's only 3 scenes with them. That's why.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on any other character before we move on, guys?
I mean, I thought honestly, this is the April that I remember the most. Honestly, so to me, this is April because I didn't really watch the first one until a few years after, and then she's the same one in the third movie too.
In the third one, yeah,
she cuts her hair, so and she has a much bigger role in the third film.
It's kind of opposite for me, just because of the scene in the barn in the first movie, and she kind of narrates what's going on there for a second. I don't know.
If you had never seen that though, as a kid, this was it for me, dude. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
So
I think April in the first movie too, she was seen more as a reporter. I think this one kind of takes that kind of backseat. She's more like a relationship with the turtles.
No.
So it's a little different, but I mean, I didn't mind her in this one. I thought she did what she was supposed to do in terms of like what her character was given.
Yeah.
They tried to give her some of that reporting background when she was in the newsroom and then saying like this, I'm the news manager, you're just a reporter. And she's like, yeah. I got to take this phone call. So it's like they tried to write a little bit for her, but they didn't really give her much to do in this film compared to the first one. Like she's just there to help the turtles move forward in their pod. So
Basically.
Yeah, the guy in the long hair that tells her Donatello's on the line is the guy that plays Leonardo.
Oh, nice.
Really? That's
just
cool.
let you know. Cameo. Every one of them has a human cameo. All four
I
of them.
didn't know that. That's
really?
Kind of like the first one. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yep. All of them again.
Well, we already discussed a little bit of the tone of the film, but what about the action sequences? Did any of them stand out for you guys? I'm going to leave this kind of open for you guys.
After finding out that the people could not see 3 inches in front of them, do you notice that the foot soldiers never attack first and allow them to get hit every time they're setting up for punches and kicks?
You know
After
where
I knew that information, I could not look past that the entire movie.
You know where it's the most evident is the scene where they're finding the ooze and they're in that lab. There's moments where
People are just in the
they
back
put
just waiting.
the sticks, like the bow staff or something, in the floor where they look like they're about to trip everybody, and the Foot Clan are just jumping over it, like intentionally. No, they're not getting hit. They're just jumping over things when something happens and they're all pile jumping onto them. They did just kind of fall to the side instead of actually getting hit or something. Like
Not
it is
even
all
that. Look at the
set up.
junkyard scene with Raphael. They're literally waiting for him to kick him in the face. They stop. One guy bends down at one point, and I was like, "What the hell is he?" Oh, because he's punching him.
Yeah,
because they
There's a
literally
lot
were
more
like
dialogue
choreographed
to slow things down too, as compared to the first one.
Yeah, but I will say, if you ignore that part, not bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, a lot of martial
Honestly,
arts in this one. A lot of martial arts.
100% agree, James. Though,
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed the fight scenes, but yeah, they're pretty crappy as far as choreography is concerned, but they were enjoyable.
Kino kind of makes up for it because his fight scenes are pretty cool, and even though it's not really like
I
a
thought he
fight
had
scene
more,
per
by the way.
It felt like it, and even though it's not a fight scene per se, his little training montage, as short as it was, I thought was pretty cool. Like even as a kid, I thought it was cool when he was like training and being a foot, and
It's funny though watching it now, and you realize how corny it is because it's like, dude, they would know immediately. Like, dude, you're not that fast. How do you have every goddamn ball or whatever or bell? I mean, like, he's like, is this enough? Yeah.
I was thinking it was like this is a standard for everybody. Like everybody's supposed to try to
I'm
accomplish.
like, because I've seen the foot soldiers and they look like idiots. So
I was gonna say,
no
like,
way.
it has the stormtrooper effect where it's like they're supposed to be elite and all this, but really they suck and just they can't make their hits. They're getting their ass whooped.
Yeah, they're setting up shots, getting punched. So it's like, are they supposed to be like ninjas? Actually, I'm like, because I was on the impression coming off the first one, I'm like, these are just kids, remember?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why it was weird. And then they go to this one, and it's like, well, I guess they're supposed to be hella good or something. But I was like,
Tatsu trained him well.
I guess, even though Tatsu becomes, it's funny though, Tatsu even in this one becomes kind of like a caricature of himself by the end.
Yeah.
The way he even goes out is so, I'm like, that is my issue with this movie too. Nabil. Like,
shocked.
Like the anticlimactic ending, everybody that gets defeated pretty easily without much like
fanfare.
Like, okay,
And
that's it, I guess.
Very easily and just in a random ass way. Like Tokka and Rahzar, they basically like eat like freaking donuts that have an antidote with them, and then they shoot them with a freaking fire extinguisher, and that's how they defeat them.
To trigger
Such a weird. I forgot about the plot point as far as how to make it work, and it's like, oh, we need to trigger them with was it carbon dioxide?
I thought they did something else. Honestly,
I thought so
they
too.
did something else.
I
But they
guess
only
not.
eat one donut each, honestly, and then they're
That's all they
burping,
needed, I guess.
and then
Right.
they're like, okay, I guess.
It does make it different because I guess if they always have to fight and defeat their enemy like through physical force, it would probably be repetitive. But
You know what stood out to me the most too? Their neck in this one. You guys look at their neck. Like right here. Dude, you can really notice in 4K. I'm like, oh, that's a mask. Like, oh shit. That's like, I never noticed that as a kid at all, dude. Like seeing it now in 4K, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, why do they look like they have a neck of like Sean Penn for some reason? I'm like, dude, what the hell, man? Like it's bad looking.
As a kid, you don't think of those things anyways. Like you're just thinking it's a turtle on screen,
It's
right?
the
You're not-
turtles.
Well, I always look out because after the first one, we've seen the guy's eyes in the mouth is one of my favorite scenes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
In the farmhouse scene where you can clearly see the actor in there. I think it's one of the funniest like mess ups in movie history, I guess, just because it's hilarious.
it's legendary.
Yeah. I remember even when we watched it, I said, I'm looking for it. And then I said, there it is. Kind of creepy. Kind of creepy.
But see, as a kid, I never noticed that. You guys had to point it out to me. I didn't even notice it when I watched it over again.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
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 So thoughts on the ending here and the battle with Super Shredder, guys, and Super Shredder himself.
Did you guys have the toy? I had the toy.
Yeah, I had the toy.
Me too. He was sharp. I was like pointy. I was like, don't hurt yourself.
Not safe for kids in the 90s.
Definitely. Dude, it was
today.
a sharp toy too. Like, dude, don't drop this. And even his top head was like the black thing. As a kid, I did not know who Kevin Nash was, but pretty cool that Kevin Nash was Super Shredder. Honestly, though, watching it, I was scared of him when I was a kid. Yeah. And seeing it now, I was like, man, I can't believe they don't really fight him at all. Like,
no.
Here's another fun fact, just because I'm full of trivia this week. The only person that gets touched by Shredder the entire movie is Leonardo, and he just gets thrown by him. No one else has any physical interaction with Shredder the entire movie.
Yeah. Because after a certain point, they're just
even
like,
Raphael, when he has that weird face, when he's like,
Shredder.
Yeah, but it's like,
no, they got to save the interactions with Tokka and Rahzar.
Like, I can't believe that's the way he went out. Was like he killed himself because he's an idiot.
Got buried. But the thing is, I don't know if they were just trying to leave it open. Well, I'm wondering because they did that with in the last film with the garbage thing, which he should have actually died because he got impaled, but apparently not.
Dude, he gets crushed by
he gets crushed.
One of my favorite
metal in his mask.
One of my favorite moments where he's like, "Whoops,
whoopsie." Casey Jones,
yeah.
But in this film, he just essentially gets buried under the rafters, and I guess probably doesn't live. But
I mean, he has a part where his hand comes out, but then it just goes down again. He's like,
collapses. Yeah.
I guess that's. What do they double taps him right there?
So cheesy.
Just to make sure. Leo's like, hold on, it's a hella violent, and he just takes his sword out and stabs him in the head. I'm like, oh my god,
never again.
I remember my main issue with the toy was that it was. Yeah, it was never like size accurate. It was always shorter.
No, he was hella short. He was stubby looking. Remember?
Yeah, I was just like, what the hell? The freaking he's the same size as the turtles. What? No,
I forgot about that.
And he's hella short, but he's yoked to that toy.
In the movies, I remember him being a lot bigger. I was like, I thought he was a lot bigger for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it was just the kid in me.
I mean, he is pretty big. Honestly,
he looks pretty big to me.
Isn't it weird though? Like, why did his clothes transform too?
I was going to say, how did he get more spikes? Like, how did that work?
His helmet get more spikes?
It would have been cool to see the transformation happen, honestly, but there's no way they had the budget for it.
No, they didn't even show us the transformation of Tokka and Rahzar.
Oh yeah, they're just behind the. I forgot. They
just show the ooze going in, right?
You see their arms and stuff. I think coming through.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Meh. The ending was meh.
It felt the ending of the first one felt a little bit more satisfactory and more earned because they had an arc and they actually developed as characters. And this one is just sort of like, they expose themselves to the world. That's it.
And in the beginning too, I think they call it out. Yeah, they called it out in this film that technically speaking, Splinter is one who KO'd Shredder the first time, and so it's like. That ending of the first film, they realized they weren't ready anyways, and he was still the master. And then in this film, they're still trying to, they're like, oh, we're ready to be out in the real world. And even now, seeing how the ending went about,
they still didn't defeat him.
Do anything. Yeah,
they still didn't defeat him. It was he defeated himself. It was his rage.
They just in that club, just dancing, man, just dancing.
Basically,
go ninja, go.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to add?
It's cool that they had the layer at the end, and that bleeds into the third film.
I really like their layer, and you get to see a lot more of it in the third film. But I do remember seeing it, and this film was like, oh yeah, this is a pretty cool little set location. We don't get enough time in.
Nobody thought it was cool. Vanilla Ice already had backing tracks and stuff for a song just made up on the spot.
For a song that he seemed to just create, although maybe he
just on the spot.
And it even mentioned
maybe
turtles
he just changed
in
the wording though. It's a song that he already had. He just changed the wording.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, that seems a little convenient.
Yeah.
But you know what? What a club, right? This guy's like, I love this place.
Hey, yeah. All right, let's go over our ratings and if we'd recommend it. Again, we'll start with our champ Mikey. What did you rate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze, and would you recommend?
I gave it 3 stars. I liked the movie. I had fun with it. There's obviously some flaws we talked about here, so I can't get any more than 3. But I do recommend it. I just think if you watch the first one, you're going to watch the third one. You might as well watch the one in the middle, and it's still fun.
The Billionaire. What do you rate this movie, and would you recommend?
I gave this 2.5 stars. As an adult, I can't recommend this film. Maybe great for a kid, but kids love a lot of things, but I just went through it and was like, man, I do not like this, especially watching the first one. So I'm not recommending it.
And James, what do you rate this movie and would you recommend?
I give it 3 stars too. Honestly, I think a lot of it's probably that nostalgia. So for me personally, it'd be hard not to give it less than that. Even though I know it's not a good movie. Honestly, let's face it. I mean, it's one of those films that has not aged well, and as an adult looking back, it's definitely one of the a weaker Turtles film, especially to some of the ones we've gotten recently. So, but I mean, I'd recommend if you're a huge Turtles fan, if you grew up in that era. I mean, give it a watch. You might be surprised, and maybe I don't know. I haven't seen this with like any of my nieces or nephews, so I wonder if they would actually like it or just be like, "What is this?" Maybe it might be too weird or too dated to them at this point. So
I also give it 3 stars, mainly based on nostalgia and the fact that I saw it in theaters. I remember it being an awesome movie, and I think it's the last good one of the original live ones, in my opinion. So because of that, I gave it 3 stars. I would recommend it too. I've seen this with my son, with Xander. No, I didn't this time around, but we have seen these movies before, and he really enjoyed it. So I think if you're a kid, you'd probably enjoy like the first 2 movies a lot.
that wraps up episode 220 of the Movie Pals podcast. Marco, let everyone know how they can keep up with us.
You can find us on every major podcast platform, so follow and listen wherever you like. For links to all our socials and more, head over to linktree/moviepalspod. That's linktr.ee/moviepalspod. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you never miss an episode or a ninja dance.
And check us out on TikTok at Movie Pals Pod for sneak peeks, quick takes, and behind the scene clips.
And coming up next, episode number 221, where we will be reviewing the Super Mario Galaxy movie,
as well as those Oscar films that Mikey assigns to all of us. So could it be
I know what those are.
It's going to be a bit of a break between it just because we have some just scheduling going on here, but we'll see you all in about 3 weeks. So thank you for listening. This is the Movie Pals signing out.